Aminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine. Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paskatya Disatarine. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Advaita Gadada Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Let us learn from our mistakes. Thank you to all those who have committed those mistakes, because it's a great learning experience for us. It's sometimes painful, but no pain, no gain. So again, I request you humbly, do not take offense of my words, but apply them to improve any kind of situation which are similar and still on the level of that they can be adjusted. Some devotees thought, they were quite convinced, that Srila Prabhupada was poisoned. They wrote books about it and everything. To me, I could never believe that, because I know that the devotees who surrounded Srila Prabhupada, they were loving him. And even if somebody would have dared to try to poison Prabhupada, Hiranyakashipu, he mixed a big amount of deadly poison into the porridge for Prahlad, and it didn't do anything to him. So if Prahlad was protected that way, Prabhupada would be protected 10 times as well. So therefore the poisoning was never something which made me curious or affected. But something else was a reality. And that we have to study very carefully. Because by this hierarchies, positioning, zonal guruship, GBCs which are not according to the original design, even temple presidents, a lot of space for abuse is being created and was created, and it was imposed upon the many of the community. Of course, I give the example of ISKCON because I lived through that experience, but I'm sure in many other missions similar things have taken place. I just can't speak about them because I didn't live them. What was poisoned was the relationship between the godbrothers. Because somebody claimed, now we are the authority, we have the right to decide over your life. And not only poisoned, but creating the most desperate situations. Like, I was always a brahmachari, then a sannyasi, so then you're kind of free. You can go here, you can go there. Still, I became disheartened. I lost my preaching service in Scandinavia. Well, that was voluntarily, because Ajit and Vegavan were the indicated people to guide that yatra. I just had a little vacation service there in Scandinavia. But when I was removed from Brazil, that pained so much, because I loved the devotees. I'd spent 3 years building up 6 temples, a nice yatra, and I was just kicked out because I didn't follow the desire of the local guru, who wanted to have a royal room decoration like Bhagavan in France, because he said if he doesn't have a royal room, then people will not see him as a guru, etc. He was coming once a year. It was a ridiculous request. Nevertheless, I told him, I'll make you a royal room, but the money I have right now, we saved it for the Jagannath festival, for Rasa Yatra in Sao Paulo. He said, no, no Rasayatra, my room. And he sent Yogeshwar, one of our godbrothers. He sent him with all the American bulliness. And he came there, and I was a little jaundiced, sick at that time. He simply bought a ticket and brought it to me and said, "Here's your ticket, one way to Germany." After being the regional secretary in there, practically alone. I mean, with the Brazilian devotees, of course. So my heart was broken. At that point, I was thinking about suicide because Prabhupada was not anymore there. Now you're taken out of your service. And there was just one single. And then I said, well, I'm a sannyasi. You should not be attached. Just go. Anyway, my details are not important. But how many grihastas had to leave their home with 3 children, 4 children? They were not allowed to continue service in England, in France, in this or that. Everywhere this business was going on. They were pushing some of the gurus, they would count how many times after kirtan the devotees would chant Jai Prabhupada and how often they would chant his name. And if they would not chant his name enough, there was enough reason for him to call them to his office, says, "You're against me. You're not chanting my name. Better go take a hike." Yes, these things took place again and again. The amount of people pushed around, there you cannot count it. The dilemma, the human tragedy, which was created by this, that would fill many volumes of Bhagavatam, many, and also other things. So there was a great poisoning, and no doubt that people were feeling Prabhupada was poisoned because if so much poison was there in the relationships. And what about the Guru Tattva? One famous example was Srila Bhakti-Vai Bapuri Maharaj. I was very closely associated with Ananta. His Guru Bhagavan left the world. He was desperate. He was looking for a new spiritual master. Then ISKCON sent another guy to Italy. He also fell down. Then another one. Again, he fell down. So Ananta said, I've had it. So he met Srila Bhakti-Vai Bapuri Maharaj in India. And he liked him. And he asked the GBC, can I now take initiation of Bhakti-Vai Bapuri Maharaj? And the GBC granted him that permission. So he became the first disciple of Bhakti-Vai Bapuri Maharaj from the West. And he was the temple president of the Rome farm. Want to invite my Gurudev? So he invited him. So Srila Puri Maharaj went to Italy, and many other people wanted to be initiated and were initiated. And then the GBC thought, oh, this person is becoming too popular. When somebody was becoming popular, they were not very happy, whether it was Gaur Govinda Maharaj or who else I can't think of right now. Anybody was getting very much support from the good devotee community, they didn't like that. So they told Bhakti-Vai Bapuri Maharaj when he went to America, you can visit the temple, but you're not allowed to give class. So they started making restrictions. They wanted to kind of eliminate the influence. Anything. He is one of the godbrothers, always glorifies Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, calling him Srila Prabhupada. So, I mean, amazing. But people were poisoned against him and eventually poisoned against whole Gaudiya Math. When there were misgivings with Srila Narayan Maharaj, which I was very closely there because I was always inviting Srila Narayan Maharaj for the Vaishnava Association meetings, I saw what happened. And he was not guilty of anything. He was just preaching Krishna consciousness, and the people loved it. Many of them were GBCs, and when the GBC realized that GBC members are going there and they're loving it, of course there was another, because one of the GBC members who went to Srila Narayan Maharaj wanted to become the Rasik Guru of ISKCON. So the GBC did not appreciate that at all, and they prohibited him from initiation and everything. But that GBC, I have to say his name, Tamal Krishna, he said it was all the fault of Narayan Maharaj. He told us all this, that we are more Rasik and blah, blah, blah. So he turned against his well-wisher, and the GBC made the strongest rules. Anybody going to Srila Narayan Maharaj cannot be in ISKCON anymore. Narayan Maharaj is an impersonalist. Narayan Maharaj is a sahajya. It was heavy. And Srila Narayan Maharaj was very hurt, because he had been an ISKCON supporter all through, coming to the festivals, giving beautiful classes, and going to the court in Srila Narayan Maharaj who defended ISKCON in the court, and the court case was won in favor of ISKCON. But the GBC didn't care. They just condemned him. And then afterwards, many devotees, they were just so disheartened. They went to Srila Narayan Maharaj, they couldn't go back to ISKCON. And then ISKCON sees, he's destroying ISKCON. He wants to take ISKCON apart. Wrong. He never wanted that. So, poisoning against the God brothers, poisoning against the Vaishnavas inside the mission, and that creates a situation which is very difficult to straighten out. Very difficult. Has the right and the duty to give to others what he received from his spiritual master. And Prabhupada told his disciples, you all have to become spiritual masters. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, everybody has to become a spiritual master. They have to qualify for that. Srila Sridhar Maharaj used to say, to become a spiritual master is a noble attempt, but it is at your own risk. If you do mistakes, you will also be held responsible. Anyhow, the poisonous relationship ended that the greater amount of Prabhupada disciples and many disciples, they just became disenchanted and they left. Or many others which are not so well known. Even though that's not that big of an issue, because we are all one family. So if somebody gets inspiration from another member of the family and stays within the family, we should be happy about it. That is what Srila Bhakti Rakshita Maharaj used to call relief work. We are doing relief work for those whose broken hearts, they may have a doubt whether they want to continue with the process of Krishna consciousness. So that is, that's an amazing situation. Then relief work is very highly appreciated. And that's when you preach Krishna consciousness. For example, many people will say, oh, you are outside of ISKCON. So in other words, book printing, that